Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back. Alhamdulillah, I pray that you've been having a good evening and that you're all well. But we wanted you to join us for a very special segment of the show. Alhamdulillah, we're very fortunate. I have Brother Haroon with me, and most importantly, we have Imam Saab with us. I believe that he's just flown back from a few countries around the world. So, without any further ado, Imam Saab, Assalamu alaikum, how are you? And wonderful to have you with us at the studio.
Ji, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, I've been traveling a lot this year, and it looks like that even this year, until end of this year, 2025, is long journeys to do, all related to projects, obviously. So I'm not trying to ignore UK, but Al Khair has become global entity. And this Qurbani project will take at least next 4 to 5 months of ours.
Oh wow!
Basically, normally for other organizations, Qurbani project is 3 days.
Yeah.
Or you can call it 4 or 5 days maximum. That you slaughter, you package, you sometime some organizations might put it in chilled fridge. You can say freezer type of van. And then distribute basically on 4th day, 5th day, and like that, and thus it is done.
Yeah.
Our effort starts after Qurbani. The real effort is to transport all that meat to different countries, do the canning of it, millions of cans, and then sending those to other countries, in Egypt, Jordan, and possibly through Israel, and then eventually sending it to Gaza. So that takes a couple of months process. And we have to be involved at every step. So to safeguard our donors' sacrifice, we have to make sure that the meat packaging and everything and the quantity, nobody is taking one pack away or like that, and so on. All those things needs to be done.
Wow.
So that's why next few months also is quite essential for myself to travel around. In between, then there are other programs that we are committed from before. Like I'm committed to few programs, live programs on Al Jazeera TV. I do in Ramadan, at the time of Qurbani, and at different occasions, and we have set dates from before. So 29th is next week, basically next Thursday. I'll be live on Al Jazeera, so I have to go. I'm coming from Qatar now.
Right.
Coming from Qatar, and I have to go back to Qatar. If it is someone wise, he will say that, let me stay 1 week in Qatar. Why go back to UK?
Yeah.
But because of the work and other things, I had to come back here. And we have Sister Talat event this Saturday.
Yeah.
So that was the most important thing for me to come back. So tomorrow I'll be heading from here up north, and then Scotland, then back to Lancashire area, and Monday or Tuesday I'll be here in a studio. Wednesday flying to Qatar, Friday or Saturday coming back from there. Then I think after a few years is happening that on the important days, most important days of the Eid or Qurbani Appeal, sorry, not Eid and Qurbani Appeal, the most important days are last 3 days before Qurbani. And I'm not here in those days. I have to go to possibly Ethiopia, possibly Egypt, Asia. I have to cover 4 countries in 3 continents within 3 days.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So, कहते हैं ना बैंड बजने वाली.
Imam Sahib, you just spoke about traveling to a few countries. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What were you doing there? What was the purpose of going there? Because obviously, the Qurbani campaign in full effect hasn't really started for the majority of the sector. Yes, there are people donating, but why did you spend so much time abroad, and what for?
Yeah, in our case, we have 2 segments of Qurbani project. One is UK Qurbani and one is global Qurbani. Just to give you comparison, up to 2023, our UK Qurbani was around 1.5 million pounds from UK donors, right? Going up to 1.7 million, 1,720,000 like that. So between 1.5 million to 1.7 million, call it between $2 million to $2.2 million up to 2023. Last year, now in 2023, away from our normal Qurbani, we did one pilot Qurbani. And that pilot Qurbani was more than 2,000 large animals, 15,000 shares, right, in 2023, in addition to normal Qurbani. We did that from Gaza, Syria, Yemen project, basically, from that donation, which was, you can say, at the time of Qurbani, but additional Qurbani as part of food program. There was no Gaza war at that time in 2023. But for some reason, Allah put us in that direction. And we slaughtered 15,000 shares, did different type of packaging, frozen, chilled, ready-to-eat meal, vacuum packed, dried meat, canning Qurbani, different type of cans and so on. And then we tracked every single movement of it until it reached the beneficiary. Right? What are the challenges? What are the hurdles? What is the cost? What is the time? Looking at every trend and every step of it. And a huge team worked on that, basically, about maybe 10, 12 people worked on that to just monitor and assess. In terms of delivery, it was a huge team. Just working on documents and basically looking at the trend of it. So in that we realized that for emergency disaster areas, canned Qurbani is the best solution.
Okay.
Right? Because when you send frozen one, when you send chilled one, it doesn't work out in some areas. They open the meat, bird comes and takes it away, or they open but they don't have anything to keep it cool. They can't cook it straight away. Distribution is done in the morning. By the evening, the meat is start to rot. So many challenges. Ready-to-eat meal, in that tradition, they don't eat this type of meal. Over there, they don't eat that type of meal. Right? In one country, there are different traditions. So, for example, in some of the Middle Eastern countries, they don't eat lamb or mutton at all.
Right.
They only want beef. Right? In one country I went, I was eating chicken, and they were looking at me, yuck. This is my own team.
Wow.
When I'm eating chicken, you eating chicken? This is a bird. Right? So you see the different traditions. So we realized that cow or buffalo meat, by the way, buffalo meat, bhans meat, is more nutritious than cow meat.
Okay.
Right? According to us, right? For canning purpose. For canning purpose, it has more protein, more benefits, more vitamin than cow one.
Okay.
For fresh eating, cow may be better.
Okay.
Right? But if it is going through process, then buffalo, bhans or bell, that one we call it, that one is more nutritious. So, and everybody eat cow meat. We realize that some areas they don't eat goat or sheep, some areas they don't eat chicken. Chicken, obviously, Qurbani is not done of chicken. Now that pilot run was very successful. We had that study and we made a document. Suddenly, it was done in 2023, and as we were completing, Gaza war started. Now we had ready cans.
Okay.
And we sent it to Gaza.
Right.
As part of pilot run also, but because of the emergency also. We didn't, at that time, we didn't realize that it will become one of the big project. So we did basic, you can say, documentation in Arabic and so on. We didn't show on IQRA TV that much. But came December 2023, and we said this war is not stopping. Because when war started, we thought in 2 weeks, 3 weeks it will stop, maybe even a month.
Yes.
Right? But in December, we realized the war is not stopping, and we have Ramadan and we have Qurbani. And looks like their aim is to finish Gaza completely. So therefore, is this war going to sadly carry on? We were hoping we are wrong, but we were preparing, they say hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yes.
So we prepared ourselves for Qurbani project from the December 2023. And we started to communicate with our stakeholders, with our partners, with some of the governments that are delivering through us. And we started to say that this is the solution we have. And we were thinking that maybe we might get $1 million, $2 million worth of orders. And last year, okay, we did 15,000 shares. This year we might do 25,000 shares.
Increase it by a bit.
Yeah. Last year the focus was Yemen, Syria, Gaza, Lebanon, different places, part of Iraq. This year the focus will be Gaza only. So when we floated the idea in the market, we were surprised that in the beginning we were not that serious, we just floated the idea. But by the time Ramadan came, many more partners started to come. And last year, Gaza Qurbani crossed $10 million globally. Right? You're talking about basically increase from 15,000 shares to nearly 80,000 shares.
Wow.
I think 76 or 78,000 shares just for Gaza alone.
Allahu Akbar.
Right? And then more for Syria, Yemen, Lebanon, and like that. In addition to this, we got order of 13,000 goats for Kenya alone.
Allahu Akbar.
In addition to that, we got 11 or 12,000 goats from Australia.
Wow.
To be shipped to Syria, Yemen, like that. In addition to those 80,000 basically.
Wow.
So every year our Qurbani used to be around 29,000, 27,000 shares. Last year it was about 120,000, 115, 120,000 shares, something like that.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
Huge.
Every year it used to be about 250,000 kg, maybe 300,000 kg. Last year it reached nearly 1.8 million,
Yeah.
nearly 1.8 million kg.
Yes, a huge amount.
Yeah, so you see the jump, right? Now for this year, we were thinking that last year was first Qurbani, so everybody were excited. The donors were donating more. This year it may reduce, right? But this year we say to our partners, we're not going to take any orders on last moment. Last year, one order came for $2 million, 24 hours before Qurbani,
Wow.
which we had to reject, which we had to decline. Right? And I mean, this is, I'm just telling you the $2 million, one single order,
Wow.
right, from one organization. We had to reject. We said we can't. There's no point of us taking responsibility.
Yeah.
It was not for any country, it was for Gaza. Now, for that you need to arrange slaughterhouse and all those things and packaging and transporting. If it was for any country, then yes, we could have taken and distributed basically in any country. That's one. Secondly, last year, about I think nearly 70% organizations that wanted to do Qurbani with us, we refused them.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So,
We refused
okay.
that we can't accommodate. So just imagine that this $10 million plus worth of Qurbani was only 30% of the order that we received,
Subhanallah.
30, 35%. Obviously, majority of them was refused in the last 5 days or 10 days of Dhul Hijjah because they were coming late. Yeah. This year, we said to people that, look, we don't want to work on last moment. And therefore, a point will come, most probably by 1st of Dhul Hijjah or 3rd of Dhul Hijjah, we will close our international Qurbani.
Yeah.
Right? We will not take any more orders. But subhanallah, I don't want to go into too much detail at this stage. We are towards Dhul Hijjah at the moment, 24th of Dhul Hijjah.
Zulqada. Zulqada.
Zulqada. Sorry, 24th of Zulqada, yes. Yesterday, we had to close international Qurbani.
Allahu Akbar.
Subhanallah.
Yeah. International Qurbani for partners, partner organizations. Sorry, we are out of stock now.
As in, whatever we can manage, we've taken on, and everything else.
We increase our target from last year. Right?
Okay.
We increased by quite big percentage. And we put a lot of more conditions.
Okay.
We demanded more flexibility. We demanded timely payment.
Yeah.
Right? We put flexibility in that in unlikely event that we are unable to deliver into Gaza, then we have authority to deliver into other disaster areas, other countries where there are Palestinian refugees.
Yes. Okay.
Right? So we asked for many flexibilities and so on, and everybody agreed to it. And subhanallah, and I don't know exactly when the team stopped. I got to know about it yesterday.
Right.
Because yesterday we got from Pakistan, imagine, from Pakistan basically, we got a huge request of huge donation. Let me see on the text message how much the donation was.
Alhamdulillah.
It was for 20 million rupees, Pakistani rupees.
Subhanallah.
20 million Pakistani rupees order for Gaza Qurbani from Pakistan. And I contacted my team. I said, there is this order. Can we take this? They said, Imam Sahib, completely finished now.
Wow. Subhanallah.
And that was news to me. Yeah. So there is, and that 20 million rupees is just a portion of one container.
Not even that much space.
Yeah.
That much capacity.
So it's just a small portion of a container, you can say. Seems amount-wise seems big, but in terms of, because one share is 160 pounds or so, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, 160.
Yeah.
160 pounds. Yeah. So to charities basically who are ordering full container, we are giving them maybe for 150 pound or so like that about. So because there is less admin cost on that. We don't have to post receipts to tens of thousands of people basically. So subhanallah, I mean, international Qurbani for international donors, we have closed for Gaza,
Allahu Akbar.
for Can Qurbani.
That means the Al-Khair got to a stage where I feel like, if you've, last year's Qurbani, we're talking about almost 1.8 million kilograms of meat, and then you increase it, and then still a few weeks before Qurbani ends, that means the international demand increased.
Increased a lot.
And people found out more about Al-Khair Foundation, and they wanted to give it, but that's
Yes.
why, subhanAllah.
And so coming to your specific question, basically I went to Indonesia to launch Qurbani campaign, international Qurbani campaign from Indonesia. So, Indonesia, Malaysia, these are our major countries.
Yeah.
Although we have donors from Australia, New Zealand also, this and that. But obviously after Ramadan, I have limited number of days.
Yeah.
Right? And I could allocate only, let's say, 10, 12 days in total, because I have other activities also. So therefore, different teams focused in different areas. There was a planned trip to stop in Thailand for just half a day, because the king of Thailand appointed this Muslim scholar, giving him title of Shaykhul Islam.
Right.
And the Shaykhul Islam was keen that Qasim should come.
MashaAllah.
And we want to basically, allocate this money, $1 million package to Gaza. So just for a couple of hours, I was supposed to stop there. Even that I had to cancel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Allahu
Just imagine how tight it was, basically. Qatar is our one of the major donor. Yeah. They donate, they deliver directly, and so on, mashallah. So I had to focus on Qatar. Dubai, we had the Jihad exhibition, had to focus on that. So by launching Qurbani from Indonesia, and it was with about 50 organizations were present there, that sent a wave around the world. Within 24 hours, people in other countries were talking about it. Within 3 days, in other continents were talking about it. So I think that was humble, a small effort, but the result was big.
Big impact.
Of bigger impact. For me to travel to Indonesia and to come back within 2 days,
It's a long journey.
long journey and long sacrifice.
Yeah.
When you arrive there, you need 1 week to settle with
Settle
time
down,
and clock
yeah.
and so on. Yeah. But impact-wise was, mashallah, was good. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
But Imam Sahib, I mean, you're talking about this, and alhamdulillah, that's an amazing sort of endorsement about the work of Al-Adha Foundation in Gaza. And obviously, that's why so many countries are supporting it. But why Al-Adha Foundation? I mean, surely there must be other, organizations that can do the same work, or,
You see,
or not?
one thing happened, and I'm not happy about it, basically. Let me tell you this openly. Something good happened with Al-Khair. At the same time, I'm not happy that it didn't work out for other organizations. So last year, our Qurbani, Al-Khair Foundation is the only organization in the world that has managed to send 100% of their Qurbani stock in Gaza without difficulty.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah.
Remember my claim. I'm not saying that it's only organization in the world who sent Qurbani. I'm saying 100% of the Qurbani reached Gaza.
Nothing was left behind.
Yeah. 3.2 million cans
Allahu Akbar.
went into Gaza. Even now people are using it.
Wow.
Right? And if you look at the timing, last year Qurbani was in the month of April, right? And our target was by December, all the stock should have gone. But by October, we finished sending everything. While as we speak right now, there are other organizations who are bigger than us, especially in canning Qurbani, and we learned can Qurbani product from them. Right? Their Qurbani meat is still stuck, not at the border of Gaza, Egypt or Jordan, but in third countries where the packaging is being done.
As in last year's
Last year's Qurbani is still stuck.
Subhanallah.
And, so there were only 2-3 players in the market last year,
Okay.
right, of this project. Major players I'm talking about. Someone doing 50,000 pound Qurbani, can Qurbani, we don't count that. We're talking about basically who was doing in millions of dollars. So there were only 2-3 players. And Al-Khair is the only one that has managed to deliver inside Gaza, mashallah.
So this time around, everyone.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, Imam Sahib? I mean, surely they all follow the same procedure and the same process. What's different about Al-Adha Foundation and what it does, or what it's done?
You see, exact reason, wallahu alam, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what we can say is that from 2016 up to now, we are sending our aid convoys and aid lorries almost on daily basis into Gaza. People heard about Rafah crossing or Karam Abu Salim, now, after 7th of October.
Definitely.
People realize, oh, there is lorries going, right? They saw this now. We've been sending from 2016. Now you're talking about 9 years. When the 7th of October happened in 23, it was 7 years, basically. In those 7 years, there are so many organizations whose total consignment was rejected, or a number of their lorries were rejected. Why? Because it didn't match the criteria, right? The guideline, or there was different item in the packaging than what was on the list.
Right.
In these 9 years, not even one single box of Al-Khair was ever rejected.
Alhamdulillah.
So such track record, mashallah. And also the payments are done bank to bank.
Okay.
So, even now the banking system is operative. Bank of Palestine is still operative.
Right.
Right. Whether they are able to get cash or not, that's challenging. But in their account, money is going. We are not sure the orphans we are sponsoring, they are alive or not anymore. But their amount is being transferred still.
Alhamdulillah. Excellent.
Their amounts are still being transferred. So we don't have data exactly, because the situation in Gaza, nobody knows who's alive, who's dead. Right? There is no central register anymore. So because of this track record and an organization that is, mashallah, above the board, regardless whatever some people say or think or try to accuse, in reality, it's one of the best organizations, mashallah, in the market, in this sector. And I'm not saying because I am part of it. If there would have been anything critical, I would have been the first one to be critical about this organization. So it's, mashallah, amongst the best organizations in the world. And also, many of our team members in majority of our offices are from Gaza itself. Some of the country offices has almost 100% staff from Gaza. That makes huge difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
And these are not those people who left Gaza 20, 30 years ago. No, they were our staff inside Gaza. We managed to bring them out. Our head of global delivery, right, Muhammad Hasna, everybody knows him. He was the director inside Gaza of OIC for 7-8 years. From 2009 till 2016-17, he was director of OIC.
Wow.
OIC is not minor organization. Regardless they do something or not, that's different. But look at the budget they must have had. They had more budget for flowers and decoration of their office, flowers only, than the entire salary of our Istanbul office.
Wow.
So just to give you an example, basically. So Muhammad Hasna, who is so well connected that and well trusted, that he was director, country head for OIC inside Gaza.
Alhamdulillah.
Right? He is our head of global deliveries.
Very capable man. If
very capable.
If the OIC employed him, very capable man.
Very capable. And that OIC office was partially managed by us, by Al-Khair.
Right.
So my condition with OIC, because I don't want to go into the behind the scene discussions and reasons, but my condition with OIC of establishment of that office was that same office will perform for Al Khair Foundation also. I'm not going to have two offices, one for OIC, one for Al Khair.
Okay.
So same team was managing Al Khair. Not many people know this.
No.
But OIC team was the team that was managing Al Khair. When I pulled my funding for OIC, that we were funding OIC project inside Gaza at that time, when I pulled that and I said, now we have our own hospital in Gaza and I need budget for that. So I don't have a spare budget to fund any other organization. They said to me, that means closure of OIC inside Gaza. If you pull out, then it means closure of OIC.
Wow.
I said, that's not my problem. And I believe that we're doing more work than you.
Right.
So they closed the office and we took all the staff of OIC.
Wow. Alhamdulillah.
So mashallah, we have good, well-trained, well-connected team, well-experienced. And these are the people who have seen multiple wars.
Yeah.
So the element of corruption or mismanagement of funds is -0.
Yeah.
Not even zero, minus.
They are the people who've made sacrifices of family
yes.
and all of that.
You know, in UK, let's say, for example, if there is one organization for which if a person, I'm not saying you guys, but I'm just saying, let's say somebody else, has been able to raise £500,000 in donations, what expectation he would have from that organization?
Yeah.
Right?
A lot.
And what attitude he will have. There is one staff of one major organization, Muslim organization, at the time when Al Khair was rather small at that time. He appeared on Sky News and he gave a very good interview, ordinary staff.
Right.
Next day, his rate was tripled for his salary, his demand.
Wow.
And the organization had to meet that.
Because he appeared on Sky.
Yeah, because he gave a very good interview and that became headline at that time and so on. There was not social media that much at that time. Yeah. So in UK, we see, and in many countries, there is bidding on the heads of fundraisers. You know, right now, I mean, in many of the TV channels, those people who are appearing on channels, you will be shocked to hear how much they are charging for one evening, one night appeal. So some of us don't earn that much in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? What they're earning in one night. You know, many of us don't, certainly we don't earn that much. I don't think majority of us would earn that much in 1 week or even 10 days, you know, without mentioning the figures. So in UK, that is the standard, right? And if somebody raises £500,000, they will say, my profile is going this. My salary before was 40,000. Now I expect 70,000 package and I can increase this to that. If you give me this package, then I can work wholeheartedly and this and that and so on. We have seen all that. You know, in my team, we have one person. And I'm giving you an example of one person. There are multiple people. One person alone, he raised nearly $20 million.
Allahu Akbar.
He didn't ask $1 increase in his salary.
MashaAllah. Sincere.
That's how blessed this organization is.
Yeah.
$20 million.
Wow.
You know. In one conference, we attended this conference. And in every room, there were 2 people. You know, one room is shared by 2 people, twin beds. This person, I gave him separate room. And it was apartments, basically. So 3-bedroom apartments, 6 beds. But to him, I gave him separate room. And he asked me, he goes, Imam Qasim, everybody had 2 people in a room. Why you gave me separate room? I said, I respect you, man. You are a big boy for me. And he hugged me and he cried. And he said, I'm blessed to be working for an organization like this, just because I gave him the room,
Alhamdulillah.
instead of sharing with 2 people. And then he said to me that, Imam Sahib, don't treat me any special. Just treat me as everybody else. I said, I thought my mind that I have attracted so much donation. He goes, no. I did it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's continuing with that pace.
Yeah.
It was not one-off donation.
Yeah.
And it's not from one organization. So I have multiple team members
Like that. Yeah.
in the organizations who have attracted $500,000, million, or millions of dollars, mashallah.